Back when I was obsessed with creators like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye, there was an array of fans who took their friendship too far. Heck, rabid fans would take YouTubers and just smush them together and write or draw some of the most horrific stuff known to mankind. Some creators would make a joke of it, maybe even reenact the scenes in their videos, while others would make their boundaries clear and ask for people to support them and respect them. Others, well, they just pretended it didn't exist. Shipping has always been a part of any community, but once the floodgates of shipping YouTubers came loose, I feel like the narrative shifted. This kind of content wasn't new. Young kids were writing stories of being sold off by boy bands since the beginning or dreaming of moments of intimacy with celebrities, but this was at least the realization that they did not see the celebrities as people and more instead as icons. Shipping has, under normal circumstances, been seen as natural due to many fans being hormonal and imprinting their own needs and wantings of love onto their favorite fictional characters. Ship wars were passionately fought in some fandoms, going so far as to try and blackmail studios for their OTPs to come to life. But shipping real people was controversial. They didn't consent to the creepy art or descriptions of their bodies in vulnerable moments. And some fans would go so far to use real events to these real people to inspire their work. Today, I want to talk about something that lies between the lines of fiction and reality, the morality of shipping VTubers. Let's get started. This video was inspired by Twitter, as is many things, when talented creator Callie requested for people to stop shipping them with the Hollow Stars. They consider each member to be their sons and find it personally weird and uncomfortable that people were already jumping the gun to push the characters together. And of course, as the nature of Twitter does, people had problems with this. They argued that VTubers aren't real people, they're characters, and thus there is nothing wrong with pushing two characters together when they're fictional. Some pointed out that since it was made public, even more people were going to ship Callie and the boys purposely to antagonize them. And it isn't surprise considering we're talking about Twitter, but also it's kind of weird that people get so heated over the silliest things. This video, like every single other one I make, is just me talking about my opinion. I am no expert, my word isn't law, all that jazz. But I've put this on the back burner for a hot minute now and I want to finally address it because like everything else in life, I have an opinion. Also, as usual, if you can't be respectful, you'll be removed. It's that simple. I don't delete comments often, agree with me or not, unless they're made specifically to be nasty. Go be miserable somewhere else. In reality, VTubers are a special case. While their forms are artificial, most do tie their stories with bits of who they really are. Their personalities are often the character's personality, just like an extension of themselves. VR chat is similar in that way, where the form may change, but the person is still often the same. Because most Twitter users lack object permanence, they can't see the real person connected to the character within. Many VTubers would probably just peter out if the human behind it wasn't acting as that character. The model is the hook, but it's the person who often keeps them around. Either through their content, their voice, their personality, something makes them stick to see more. For example, I saw Takahata's model and thought it was gorgeous. I do have a weakness for long hair after all, as well as some good organization which you would need to run a bar. But what made me really enjoy his content was when I found a post of him speaking about his actual story and his path to sobriety. The fact that he was able to continue working in a scene that had such a heavy influence in his life and still be a positive influence and spread great vibes, that made me appreciate his content even more. That is a very real part of his life and is reflected within his VTuber's personality. And while I don't know the nature of his fan base, I do know that there would be people who would use that information as only lore. And that's the problem I have with shipping VTubers, is treating them like lore. It's the same reason I have aggravations with shipping YouTubers. Treating someone's life, regardless of the shell they use, as an extra flavor to spice up your own content is gross. Technoblade's death is a current example, with channels that are making massive bank over the loss of real human life. I don't know who he was, but even I could see how much his community loved him. I was moved to tears myself learning about his plans post-death. And it frustrated me, someone who's never seen a single bit of his content, to see people taking advantage of it. I can't imagine how his friends, his family, the people who looked up to him felt. Sure, there are limited exemptions, but there are people out there in the real world who have a serious issue with disconnecting fiction from reality. If someone sees nothing wrong with shipping two VTubers after they've requested not to be, because it isn't hurting anyone, they are admitting that they see these creators as less than human. They've made it clear that their feelings do not matter to them. Let's make this a bit more personal. I do a ton of Roxanne Wolf content with a wee bit of Chica from FNAF Security Breach. I enjoy the content regardless of people getting a bit aggressive, but there have been some downsides. There has been at least 2 instances where people have treated me like I was actually Roxanne Wolf. I wish I was kidding when I say one of these individuals referred to Roxy and indirectly me as a slave and sent resources on how to deal with some form of neglect. They've commented and messaged about what is and isn't good business practice in upholding the Pandaabear brand and would critique my videos as if I was actually representing Five Nights at Freddy's. This isn't okay, y'all. Treating someone you know almost nothing about realistically like a fictional character that you connect to is just dangerous for both sides. Parasocial relationships are a constant struggle when you're a content creator, and I feel like VTubers have it horribly because, let's be honest, some of those fans are bad. This weird barrier that people put up when regarding people they look up to, especially popular ones, needs to be addressed. Because it is super toxic to treat someone badly just because of their follower count or content style. VTubers are real people. Even if their character is 100% fake, with fake personalities, fake lore, fake species, they are still run by a real person. A person who is most likely put love into their creation to give it life. Addressing the character is addressing them. Shipping these VTubers is shipping the real people behind the looking glass. And if you've ever been shipped before, can lead to strained friendships and feelings of false hope if one of the two actually had feelings. Heck, I've seen people complain about couples who break up, saying that X was better with Y. I don't know what she sees in Z, as if they aren't real people with more to their lives than what you'd see on the screen. You don't get to decide if someone else is happy or not because it didn't match what you expected. Real people aren't there for your entertainment alone. They have other parts to their lives. I don't know, this just hits a sore spot for me for such a long time now because it sets someone up for failure. I spent my years from 3rd grade to 10th being shipped with a classmate. He liked me, and I, being unaware of social norms, made it very clear even when I was really young that I had zero interest in him. We were friends, but I never even for 1 second wanted a relationship with him. But people kept pressuring him, making situations happen. Heck, my family got into it and wanted us to do cute little date-like activities because they liked what they saw from him and were annoyed that I had zero interest. Eventually, our friendship ended when he not only threatened my other male friend to never see me again, but also got aggressive with me and demanded that I start being more affectionate back to him, like he owned it. He grew confident enough to force my boundaries back because the people around us constantly pushed for us to be together. And I know it's true, because he admitted how the words and actions of everyone else made him always feel like he had a chance, even when I said he didn't. We were kids, for God's sakes. Mistakes happen, but at the same time, it was the adult's responsibility to teach him that no meant no. There was not another boy. There wasn't even another person. It was just that I had no interest in romance up until my late 20s, and that's okay. We see this happen over and over through social media. People grow awkward around each other once a narrative becomes a norm, and those expectations could lead to terrible results that get people hurt. This is just a small bit of another video that I'm working on, but the fact that pressure from society in terms of social media makes people feel like they have to go into awkward positions to continue to stay viral or relevant is toxic and just a downfall no matter what. I really don't know what else I should say to this to make my opinion more clear. Personally, if I saw shippy art of my character with another, I don't think I would mind that much, but that's 1, me personally, and 2, it depends on who it was. I have VTuber mutuals that I know would make both of us uncomfortable if people started to ship us together. We have a history that isn't public because, it's not anybody's business but our own. And, my honest opinion is if you want to ship a VTuber, you need both of their permissions to do so, because not every VTuber will mind. It's just like with the YouTubers. Some have no issues with it and find it funny, while others take serious offense. Plus, you never know who you're shipping together. Maybe people who had good chemistry don't anymore because of something that happened between them in real life. And constantly shipping them together could be triggering one of those 2 people. Yes, VTubers look like anime, but that isn't an excuse to treat them like anime characters. They may be entertainers, but they aren't your exclusive entertainment. Be respectful, because I know many times these ships aren't done maliciously. They're just done because the fans love their entertainers. But in the other eyes, it may come across as creepy. And, for the ones who purposely create situations to make content creators uncomfortable, well, honestly, the most you can do is report them for harassment and block their sorry butts. At the end of the day, they only get joy by making others miserable, so give them the boot and move on with your life. Thank you all so much for sticking around. I just wanted to put my 2 cents into this little debate because it's been going on since I was young. I'm starting to grow my channel now, and I've had people try to ship me with characters I've never even met before, so I am curious to see how my opinion shifts and changes over the time if it starts happening more often. Please remember that every single video you see, every person online is just as real as you, and they all have their own battles going on. As usual, make sure to drink your water, eat your broccoli, and have a fantastic night. See y'all in the next video.